welcome to Stock Talk. Hope you had a good rest of your week in trading. Uh, Thursday and Friday we had pretty good days. Ended up pretty good for the week. Actually, a really good week. So happy with that. Did make a attempt of a day trade on NVAX. We'll talk about that on Friday. We'll talk about that as we look at our portfolio here. But again, did have a good week. So we're happy with that. Heading in the right direction on the portfolio. Not at the year's high, but we're doing good as far as our up percentage. We're beating the markets. We're beating CDs, the banks, you name it, we're beating it. So that's good. So we're going to jump over and take a look at our portfolio and talk about what we did Friday. I didn't do anything Thursday, but we did make a day trade Friday on the NVAX. So let's talk about that. Let's jump over to our portfolio. Okay, so here's our portfolio. As you can see here, Friday was pretty red. If you take a look at our charts over here, we did have a little green part of the day, but most everything sold off towards the end of the day if they were green. You can see here we had a few that started out green and ended up in the red. So let's take a look. XSPA, that's one that we've recently built a little position on. Pretty flat, less than 1% down. The day was not terrible. We did have a little down day, but it was not a terrible day on Friday. NKLA, we had a couple of really good days, or several good days on NKLA this week, so it's heading the right direction now. It did get in the green just a tad on Friday, but did close in the red just 1% or so. HTBX down about 1.5%, and NVAX, as you can see here. Let me go ahead and pull that chart up, and I'll show you the reason I made a day trade. So you see NVAX ran up really good. I almost sold some here. Wished I would have. But what I did is I ended up waiting till it to drop down in here. I think I was in at 111.85. I think that's where I got in at 111.85. And so we bought some there and was hoping to get some kind of uptick before the day was over with, but you can see how it did. It just kind of played around. So towards the end of the day, when it got up here to 112, we went ahead and cashed in on that. Made about $150. Not near what I was trying to do. So we actually had an opportunity to make a little bit more than that, but we did make $150 for a lot of trouble. Really what we end up doing when we do that day trade is we swap out shares at a higher price for some cheaper shares that we had. So the ones that we sold, we actually made 4.34% on those. So we did make some good money on that, but we didn't make any money on the day trade hardly. But as far as the shares we sold, we did cash in on some that were up 4.34%. So we'll take that. We hadn't had them that long. So that's good. We'll take that. Not what I was trying to do, but we did. We didn't want to leave all that money in NVAX, so that's why we sold before the day was over with. All right, XOM had a red day. Now it's been trying to pick up a little bit, so that's better than what it's been doing. As well as U.S. Steel, they both were red, but not too bad. For the week, I would imagine they were both up for the week. And ACB closed pretty flat there at 1.37. So let's go ahead and jump over and take a look and see what's going on in the markets tonight. All right, so let's go ahead and just do a little refresh here just to make sure this is up to the latest. All right, so we do have, looks like, some red on the Dow and the S&P. Looks like the headline there, Pelosi says stimulus talks remain an impasse. Of course, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. Don't hold your breath on that. I really don't think anything's going to happen before the election. They're not. I don't think the Democrats want Trump to have a win, and so we'll see. I just don't see anything happening there. The focus is going to be on the Supreme Court for the next week or so. So get ready for that. But we got a little red on there. We'll see how it does tomorrow. But the markets last week were really good it seemed like they had a pretty good week. I'm not sure if they were down or up for the week, but I know we did well. So I would imagine the market was up as well. We'll take a look at that. Uh, let's take a look at Asia. All right, so Asia got a little bit of red there. Hong Kong looks like it hadn't opened yet, but kind of mostly flat. Mostly flat is what I'm seeing here. All right, and our oil still over 40. We just need to keep that going up a little bit to help out our oil stocks. But 40s, that's about where it's been. It's, kind of getting between 38 and 40. That's if you want to make a trade, probably around $38 is where it's been getting to 35, and then but it's been going up to high as 40, 41, 42. So not anything that you see. We did have a 9% jump for the week, snapping that two-week losing streak. So all right, so that's kind of what that looks like. As far as next week goes, next week's going to be more of the same. It's kind of volatile. It's going to be volatile, I would imagine, with all this stimulus talk and what's going on with the Supreme Court. Look for up and down days. Look for opportunities to buy. We are doing good as far as our cash levels go. I checked it tonight. We're 35% cash. That's kind of where I wanted to be in November. So we're getting close to November. I'd like to keep it there around that 35, but I'm going to trade if I get an opportunity. Just going to try not to get it tied up into anything. So hopefully we can make some good quick trades between now and the election. But we've only got a few more weeks there. So today is October the 11th. So yeah, we only got 23 more days. So it's going to be interesting. It'd be a good idea either way, probably to have a little cash on the sideline. I don't know what this market's going to do either way, really, tell you the truth. Right now, all the polls have Biden ahead, so I don't know if the market's thinking that's okay because it hasn't been terrible, or I don't know what's going on, or they really think that Trump's going to win. I don't know. So we're gonna find out. If you'll remember the last election, if you were watching the market at that night, like I was, it had dropped like 700 points or maybe even more than that, but I know it was down. But by the time it opened, it was green and it did really good. So look for an opportunity like that as well. If it opens up down on a day, it might be a good opportunity to jump in there with something. But you never know. Sometimes they'll just keep going. But I think either way, the election, the short term is probably going to be good because they're going to be expecting spending. So anytime there's spending going on, that's supposedly good for the economy, and so that wouldn't surprise me if the market would go up either way. All right, but next week I'm going to be looking for the same stocks. If steel drops like it has in the past, I'll be buying Cliff, CLF. I'll be buying Nucor, NUE. Some of those other stocks we've traded, EXAS. That one's way out of range right now. It'd take a good drop to get back in that one. GBTC, that's a Bitcoin trust. GBTC. Bitcoin's been on a tear, but it has pulled back a little bit. So that might be something you want to look at, but it's a little bit too high for me to jump into it right now. But that's one we've traded as well. But the airlines, that's some other ones. DAL is the ones we've traded, and LUV. LUV is my favorite of those, Southwest Airlines. Now, if they get a stimulus package, that's going to help them. Now, of course, they've gone up a little bit because of the expectation of that, so got to be careful there. But anyway, I would expect that this coronavirus stuff's going to die down sometime in the next 6, 7, 10 months as far as we're having a vaccine or we're having therapeutics at work. So that's going to help pick things up. Hopefully that will get our oil going again. But Monday, I don't know if that cash is going to be settled yet that we did a day trade on because there's a good bit of cash. So it has to settle before I really want to try to do that again. But I'll look for an opportunity to do that again and try not to get burned like I did the last time. Not this time, but the last time. We got burned on it pretty good. So got to be careful with that, but we're two for three on that one. So I would call this one the one we did Friday a push pretty much. So actually 2 for 3 and a push at a time. So all right, so that's what we're going to be doing. Just looking for opportunities for the ones that we've traded in the past. If they drop, we'll get back in on them. Especially those steel stocks. Those are the ones that are going up and down pretty good. So usually can make some pretty quick money if you see those drop. So all right, well, good luck to you. I'll jump back in here possibly on Wednesday sometime, and we'll talk about what we did Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, have a great few days of trading there, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking this button right here. Thanks. Bye.